Greetings from my beloved nondescript little city in the southwestern part of the United States. My name is Brian, otherwise known as Stronzo5785. Let's dive right into this, because once again, you are incorrect in a couple of points. Christian does not mean little Christ. You're way off the mark here. The etymology of the word, it comes to modern English from the Old English, who gets it from the Latin, and the Latin gets it from the Greek. The Greek word is Christianos, which means from Christ, or of Christ. It doesn't mean little Christ. Please double check your etymology before posting statements of this nature on your videos. The assertion was made that Paul taught things that disagreed with the words of Jesus. Point one of those out to me. One teaching of Paul that contradicts and goes against what Jesus taught. You can't do that either, unless you try real hard and eisegete scriptures, which you have proven yourself very proficient at. Let's go to Matthew 5:21 and 22. In fact, no, let's back it up to verse 17. I'll let the words of Jesus speak for themselves, rather than allow an eisegesis from someone who does not understand nor wants to truly understand, I believe, the Bible for what it truly says, especially the New Testament. I begin with Matthew 5, verse 17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, nor the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven, but whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. 21st verse. You have heard that it was said to the people long ago, do not murder, and anyone who murders will be subject to judgment. But I tell you that anyone who is angry with his brother will be subject to judgment. Again, anyone who says to his brother, Raka, is answerable to the Sanhedrin. But anyone who says, you fool, will be in danger of the fire of hell. Now, read in this way, we understand that to mean that actually the law that Jesus teaches, which was love the Lord your God with all your mind, body, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself, these two laws are much higher and much more difficult than the law that the Pharisees subjected themselves to in their strict literal interpretation, hyper-literal interpretation of the scriptures. Jesus is simply disagreeing with them and using this to emphasize his point. Now, if you choose to continue with your eisegesis, well, I will simply post every scripture that you quote in context, and we will let people decide for themselves who watch your videos what the Bible is really teaching. Now, if they read it and willfully wish to continue to believe the hyper-literal interpretation that you, like the Pharisees, use, then that's their choice. And once again, I simply disagree with you. I do pray for you. We have a whole bunch of prayers happening down here in the southwestern part of the United States for you and other Muslims who insist on continuing not to understand the New Testament. Once again, Brian, Stronzo5785. I do wish that you will really hear the words of Jesus rather than try and muddle them and confuse them. Peace and blessings, my friend.